What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about how to make all your routes look the same. I think this is probably one of the most important things that receivers can master, is making everything look like a fade, being able to drop in and out of a break as fast as possible, and then creating as much separation as possible. Okay, so let's get started in this video. And guys, if you're a receiver and you want to get access to a booklet that has all the wide receiver terms that you need to use, we talk about DBs, how they play you, what kind of coverages there are, what kind of techniques there are, how you can structure your routes to get some separation, all the terms with definitions of them. Check out our wide receiver dictionary, link in the description below. Let's get started. So first things first, we're going to be looking at this route by Keenan Allen, just a basic stop route here, but we're going to look at the technique of this route and how quick he's able to get out of this thing, right? And now some people just think, oh, it's because Keenan Allen is just a freak athlete, right? This is something that's teachable. This is something that a lot of receivers can work on and always get a little bit better off of this, right? And I'm not saying Keenan Allen isn't a great athlete, because he is a great athlete, but it's one of those things that receivers can work on. This is not just a play based off of pure athleticism, right? So let's watch at full speed. So he's coming off here, full speed on this run, and then just drops his hips right on a dime in and out of this break as fast as possible. So what is everything about this route? His stance when he comes off the line, how fast he is off the line, the release that he takes, everything about this, he gives this little hesitation, then goes. Everything about this point right in his route is selling fade. This is 100% a vertical right now. He's got that head down, and he's got his pad level forward, right? When you got your pad level almost at like a 45-degree angle, your shins are going forward, and you're almost driving out, that's selling like he's just going full speed down the field trying to beat this DB over the top, right? So now, the main thing about being able to run full speed and change direction is your hips. Your hips has to be the thing that creates separation for you. You got to be able to drop those hips as violently as possible to get in and out of a break as fast as possible, right? So you see when he decides to drop here, I know it's a little bit blurry, but you can mostly tell how he snaps and he goes forward, right? You see how his chin is going to his knee and he's dropping those hips as violent as he can. There is no way for you guys. I see a lot of guys do this all the time too. They'll snap down and they'll lean their chest back. Their feet will get out in front of them when they try to quote unquote snap down, when they're not actually dropping their weight, right? It should be called drop down, because you're trying to drop your weight, and that's just a huge indicator to this DB. It's slow because you're going to take extra steps, or you're going to slow your speed down. The key is to keep the same speed and then be able to change direction on a dime. You know how hard that is for a DB to react, right? Now, DBs work the drills all the time where they got the 5-yard space, they drop to a cone here, and then they run up to this cone, and they backpedal, and they run up to the next one, right? But they don't work that 12, 15 yards down the field. So if I can get in and out of a break fast 12, 15 yards down the field and drop, then they can't prepare for that. They're going to take extra steps because they're so used to breaking within a 5-yard space. And plus, they don't know when the break is coming, right? When you do those cone drills, you know when the break is coming if the coach isn't directing you, right? So that's one of those things. That's why selling vertical down the field is so important, keeping a good pad level, keeping my head forward, and then your violent hips, that's what gets you out of a break, come back to the ball. It's a great rider by Allen. Let's watch it full speed one more time. So coming off fast here. Head down, let's go. Selling vertical, I drop this thing off and catch. Now the next route we're going to be looking at is Ochocinco here. I know it's a little bit blurry, but it's the same freaking concept here. Now he's going to be running a curl route. So this is real important here. And again, Ochocinco, very great athlete, but he's very fast. But again, speed isn't what's going to get you open. It's just straight up. It's not everybody in college at the college level is fast. Everybody, especially in the NFL, is fast, right? So you're going to have technique. You're going to have to be able to sell routes. On the high school level, yeah, maybe. Go run, go nuts. You're probably faster than everybody else if you're a quicker receiver, so maybe technique doesn't matter as much, but anybody will tell you everybody's fast. Every single level that you get a little bit higher and higher in football, everybody gets faster, everybody gets quicker, and especially at this level that we're looking at right now, everybody's quick. So the speed thing, yes, that certainly helps. That helps with you being able to sell vertical, but your pad level does it. Your chin being down, you being in almost a 45-degree angle coming out of this thing, driving, right? So he's coming out full speed, Ochocinco. Same idea as the last clip. Running full speed, then right in stride, he drops. The main thing about snapping down and being able to drop your hips is you got to hit this thing right in stride. You don't want to be here and then reach, and I don't want to reach out for this break and then lean myself back. Right in stride, I'm taking a normal stride, and in stride, I'm just dropping, and you see how Ochocinco drops. He's bringing his chin to his knee, he's dropping his hips, his feet aren't out in front of him, and he's not leaning back. Just right in stride, we're running full speed, just drop right now. Drop those hips, bring that chin to my knee, and I'm in and out of this break. I'm accelerating back to the ball. It's another great example of how to push vertical on a route. Let's watch it again, full speed one more time. So full speed running up, and use those hips to drop you. Your hips have to be violent. So now this is how it all builds, right? So this is going to be Michael Thomas here running this Stutter Go. Now, the main thing about a Stutter Go here, fellas, is we got to make it all look the same, right? So that's how this video is making all your routes look the same, and that's what we're focused on right here, right? So let's say I got to go run, rather than a Stutter Go right now, let's just talk about it like you got to run a dig. So you're coming out here, you're running full speed, and let's say you're just running this thing like a 10-yard dig. We want to keep that same vertical speed that we just had on the last two clips, right? You see how fast he's coming out, and then I can snap it down and go run a dig, right? But let's say the first time, everything that sets this up is your speed when you run a fade, even when you don't have the ball. So even when you're not getting the ball, even when the play's not designed for you, let's say you're just pressed up and your job is just to run this guy off. You guys' job, take an outside release and just get out of there. But if we can give this DB something off the line, right? I could give him a move off the line. I could push vertical. I could go run. I get him to feel my speed. I get him to turn those hips and really run with me because he's like, oh crap, this guy's fast. He's getting off the line quick. Now that just adds on to everything else that we got to be able to do. So now let's say we beat him one time on that curl or that stop route that we were just looking at. Now I come back a third time. And from point A, which is off the line, to point B, which is where you drop your hips and you make a break, it's got to look the exact same. So you see Thomas is here running full speed. And what does he do? He drops those hips. He kind of jumps into this one, which I'm not a big fan of, right? But I would like to be a little bit more like in stride, so it's a little bit more realistic. And he kind of pops his chest up just a little bit. He kind of leans back. But you see how much he's dropping his hips. And he's dropping his hips, and his hands are a little bit violent. He's here. Just drop. And now when I drop like that, what do you think that DB's going to do? He's going to see that he's dropping his hips. He's going to bring that chin to my knee. I think obviously he could have been a little bit cleaner, could have been a little bit more technically sound, like the last two clips of Keenan Allen and Chad Johnson, two very great route runners to learn from. But again, it accomplished the same thing. He made it look the exact same, and he dropped his hips. That's going to cause a reaction out of this DB, right? You see how much weight's on this leg. He's thinking, oh, crap, he dropped his hips. I'm going to go make a break on this ball. And then now all we got to be able to do is just accelerate up. And the reason why we got this separation is because point A back here to point B looked the exact same. My hips dropped, made everything look the same, and that's what creates some separation for me, and I'm able to accelerate up. Let's watch it full speed again one more time. So full speed run up, drop those hips, as violent as we can with those hips if we're making a Stutter Go. So now we're going to be looking at this release off the line here. We're going to be talking about this diamond release. So let's say, off the line of scrimmage, these releases, he's going to be here. So you see how he slides one time, then 1, 2, 3, and then breaks his thing off and runs a slant. I know the clip cuts off kind of quick here. Now, the main thing about this is with any release, we got to make it look the same. That's how you can play mind games off the line of scrimmage. Like, how many times have you seen, like, Devontae Adams is a great example. Devontae Adams comes off, he does a little hesitation, then he goes 1, 2. He goes right, left, and then he breaks up to the inside on a slant or whatever. And how many times do you see him hesitate and then just go, right? So it's like he makes it all look the same, even off the line of scrimmage. Not just your route, not just what you do at the top of the route. You got to make it look the same off the line of scrimmage, too, when we're against press. So you see what he does here is he takes this little hesitate and then go. How many times have you guys seen off the line of scrimmage a receiver go hesitate and then just runs a fade, kind of lulls him to sleep, gets him to stop his feet and hesitate, and then we go, right? And this could be vice versa. This could be the same thing, vice versa. Let's say we beat him on this release right here once, and then we come back and give him a hesitate, and then just push up vertical and go. It could flip. It could go both ways. So when he's here and he hesitates, he goes hard 3 steps to the outside. Now, the thing about making it all look the same off the line when you're going a diamond release, trying to get this guy to turn his hips so you can run a slant back underneath him, we got to make sure that I'm selling it with my pads and with my pad level, because what a lot of people do in this situation is they'll remain square, they'll take like 3 choppy steps lateral, and that's not going to get any DB ever to turn his hips. I got to commit my shoulders, and I got to actually stride. You see how he's here? He's actually running, and he puts his feet in the ground. How you change direction when you're running full speed on a speed cut or just on any kind of cut is you want to be running, and then you want to have your whole foot in the ground and being as sudden as possible, because that's what changes direction for you. You see how good of a pad level position he's in, and now we can run out of this thing. We got this DB to commit his hips, and we can cut it right back underneath. Okay, so I hope this helps you guys in terms of understanding how to make all your routes look the same off the line of scrimmage. It's all a mind game, guys. It's not all about speed. It's not all about just being a great athlete. If you have intelligence, if you have a high wide receiver IQ, knowing when to execute these moves, you're going to be be just fine. You're going to be able to create some separation. Let's watch it full speed here. So hesitate, 1, 2, 3. Gets him to turn those hips. Then I accelerate back to the inside. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, if you have any questions, please leave those in the comments. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible, and I'll see you guys next time.